Okay, grade 11. So now we are dealing with negative angles. So since we're dealing with negative angles, so we know that if a terminal starts to be here, okay, let's say this is P. So you know when it goes that way it's positive, but when it goes this way, I said it will negative. So we have a negative theta, and then we know that it's all sine, tan, and cos. So it only favors cos because it's on the home of what? In the quadrant where only cos is positive. What does that mean? It means if I have cos of negative theta, this should be cos of theta. Okay, then if I have sine of negative theta, this should be negative sine of theta. Then tan of negative theta, this should be negative tan of theta. Okay, so how do I then prove this to be true? Okay, so if I have cos of negative theta, I add 360. What does that mean? It means I have cos of 360 minus theta. Okay, so where is 360 minus theta? According to our reduction formulas, where is our reduction? Here is our reduction formulas. So where is 360 minus? In this quadrant, fourth quadrant. How is cos in fourth quadrant? It is positive. So this will be what? This will be cos of theta. We are using the reductions. Okay, so let's say sine of negative theta, I said I add 360. Okay, so every time when you see a negative angle, you add 360. This will be what? This will be sine of 360 minus theta. Which quadrant is this? It's fourth quadrant. How is sine? Negative. Negative sine of theta. Okay, let's do tan. Let's do tan. Okay, so I have tan of negative theta plus 360. This should be tan of 360 minus a theta. Which quadrant is this? Fourth quadrant. How is tan? Negative. Negative tan of theta. So this is method 1. This is method 2. Okay, so you must know both of them. Okay, so now let's explore more problems with negative angles. Okay, so for example, let's say I'm given a problem like this one, cos of theta minus 90 degrees. How then do I solve for such a problem? First of all, I'm not used to something like this. I'm used to 90 being this side and theta being this side. Okay, so now that means first of all I arrange this one. I will have cos of negative 90 plus a theta. Wait, okay, we left out that we have what? A cofunctions. Cofunctions, what does co means? It is what? It is complementary functions, okay, or complementary ratios. When I have cos of 90 minus theta, which is in the first quadrant, this should be sine of what? Of theta. And then if I have sine of 90 minus theta, this should be cos of what? Of theta. These we call them what? Complementary. So it's co-functions or complementary ratios. Okay, not functions, ratios. Okay, so now here we have something like this. Okay, I have negative and a positive, but I'm not used to this to being negative, so I take out the common factor. If I take out the common factor, I would have cos open, let me square bracket of a negative open bracket. I'm left here with 90 degrees, but here I'm left again with negative theta, so that when I multiply this inside, I might get this one. Okay, so I'm having like this. So cos of a negative angle, let's go, cos of a negative angle is a positive cos, so this is cos of 90 minus theta. Then we say cos of 90 minus theta is going to be sine of theta. This is sine of theta. Okay, let's do another problem. Okay, let's say I have another one which states I have sine of negative theta, or let's say positive theta minus 180 for now. Okay, so I'll say I arrange this one. Okay, if I arrange this one, I will have what? I will have sine of negative 180 degrees plus a theta. Then I have sine, I'll take out the common factor, square bracket of negative, open bracket, 180 degrees minus theta. Okay, so now I have sine of it's a negative sine of 180 degrees minus theta. Why is it negative? Because if I have a negative angle of a sine, it's always negative sine. Okay, so that means I will have what? I will have 90 minus, which quadrant is that one? It is second